All right, well, welcome everybody. Thank you to our guest today, Executive Director Shoshana Liu, Governor Jared Polis, for coming and joining us today. We're really excited and honored to have them join us. We're here to celebrate and break ground on the Midland Trail Connection, and this is made possible by the Revitalizing Main Street grants. This is a fantastic project. This is the third time we've been able to take advantage of it. The first time we were able to help get through the pandemic. It provided outdoor heating, those cool igloos we had, the huts, and it was really instrumental in helping our businesses prolong the season, especially when we had indoor dining restrictions. It also provided wayfinding signs and bike racks in another round of funding, so we feel really blessed to be able to take advantage of this the third time, so we really want to thank the Governor and Director Liu for that. This project will continue with exciting improvements. It helps bring economic vitality and vibrancy to our community. This project, the Governor got a little bit of a brief on it before we started, but it's going to be a 10-foot wide concrete sidewalk that connects 6 and 24. There's a bus stop up there. There's a ton of hotels. There's 6 canyons. There's a lot of residential area. And being able to connect both residents and visitors alike to summer music, to the boat ramp, to connect our rivers, to Iron Mountain Hot Springs has been a critical need for the last several years. We really saw it be a need when we had the Two Rivers Park shut down for the shoreline restoration boat ramp reconstruction. We would see pedestrians walk across Devereux Bridge. It's narrow, there's no shoulders. It's really a dangerous area. Even when you're going across I-70, the guardrail's below your knees. So we're really excited to have our pedestrian bridge that goes across I-70 actually connect to something that gives a direct connection to Iron Mountain Hot Springs. The city is incredibly enthusiastic to have this. The pedestrian safety aspect is something I can't emphasize enough. It's going to be great. We really want to thank both. Got a lot of people to thank, sorry. Obviously, CDOT, the Governor's office for this, for doing the Revitalizing Main Street grant program, which has been so great to Glenwood Springs. We want to thank Steve and Jeannie Beckley of Iron Mountain Hot Springs for their crucial support in helping us both financially and with their letters of support for this connection. Colorado State Patrol, Colorado River District, obviously Gould Construction for the work you guys do. You guys must have these retaining walls just up the yazoo, because I see them all over the place. And thank you again to everybody who's joining us today as we celebrate this. And with that, I want to invite Executive Director Shoshana Liu up.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and it's such a pleasure to be here again with all of you for this exciting milestone, which is one of many for the Revitalizing Main Streets program that we've had in Glenwood Springs. You know, this is a community that's found so many creative things to do with this program that it's really helped us think broadly about how to structure the program as a whole for the state. So, you know, really a hats off to all of you for being, you know, a step ahead of everybody on this program, thinking about how to use it to get through some very challenging economic times for a variety of reasons. And, you know, I think thinking back to some of the silver linings of all of the difficulties we've gone through in this area over the last couple of summers, sort of seeing the way revitalizing main streets helped to keep the local economy afloat, even while there were just external things going on in every direction, has been really inspirational. So really a privilege to be here with you to celebrate this. You know, I would also say that the breadth of these investments together are worth more than the sum of their parts. I mean, we're talking about this as a small nexus between two trail systems, but each of these little unfinished connections opens up a host of opportunities for bringing people together through multimodal connections. I was just talking to the Governor about the way that Glenwood Springs sits, in between key transit options as both, the terminus of the rafter route that goes all the way to Aspen, being along our east-west route for Bustang. It's a place where a lot of transit connections and pedestrian connections come together in this area. So really everything that we do to stitch the network together punches above its weight in terms of overall connectivity, and I think is a model for really the whole state to look at as we think about bringing these different pieces together. So just want to say thank you to all of you for all of this great work and for having us. I too would thank Gould Construction and give them also just a hats off for the work that they did as part of the overall fixes in Glenwood Canyon. You know, while they're not the primary contractor who's been doing the fix, they're the entity who, when we were in a pinch figuring out how to get the eastbound open on the interim configuration, they figured out how to do the fill of the hole with the rock base and the sort of temporary overlay that's really, you know, the elegant solution that's enabled us to go bi-directional the way we have through the duration of construction. So I want to make sure that that contribution to the overall effort goes stated, and to say thank you for that. And with that, it's my honor to introduce Governor Jared Polis.
Thank you, Mayor Godes and Director Liu. It's exciting to be here in Glenwood to help break ground on the Devereux Trail connection. You know, it's really exciting that we're able to support as a state these kinds of Main Street improvements that make it easier for bikers and pedestrians in our towns. Of course, it's about access. It's also about public safety, reducing collisions, improving safety, and of course, for areas where tourism is important, like Glenwood Springs, it's about attracting people from across the state, across the country, and across the world with better trail linkage and world-class opportunities for recreation. It takes a lot of work to get to a day like this. I want to congratulate the Glenwood Springs community, the city of Glenwood Springs, our team at CDOT for bringing this to fruition. And this project is a great example of what Main Street grants are all about. Expanding mobility, increasing safety for pedestrians and cyclists, giving greater access to local businesses, giving greater access to outdoor recreation opportunities that power this community and so many others like it. To date, 138 projects have been awarded from us to 91 communities across the state, including 2 additional projects the mayor mentioned in addition to the Devereux Trail we're celebrating today. Many of you probably got to experience the benefits of the Safe and Warm Eats program, which got grants early on to expand sidewalks and convert street space for restaurants and community use, including winterization. And the Access Glenwood project received a grant from us for downtown Main Street amenities for community members of all ages, particularly focused on increasing access for those with disabilities. This Main Street grant program is delivering real results for Coloradans, and that's why I'm excited to double down on its success with an additional $40 million in funding proposed in my budget for next fiscal year. We look forward to getting the very best ideas from cities and towns across the state of Colorado, and for the state to be a partner in helping to transform our downtown areas in a way that increase fun, safety, and business. In addition to the focus on improving business and economic success with smaller projects on main streets, we're also working to support communities on larger improvements. Localities have the opportunity to apply for grants of up to $2 million to improve user safety along urban roadways and Main Street corridors, especially for pedestrians and bikers and motorcyclists and transit users. 16 larger safety infrastructure grants were awarded across the state back in August, a few months ago, worth about $22 million. And I'm proud to say that one of those went to the Roaring Fork Transportation Authority with $1 million for the 27th and Colorado 82 pedestrian underpass project that creates a grade-separated bicycle and pedestrian crossing on Colorado 82 and 27th here in town. Again, improving safety, improving access for cyclists and pedestrians, and reducing collisions and therefore reducing traffic. Today, I'm excited to announce that an additional $22 million in funding is now available to support even more great transportation projects, whether it's here in Glenwood, in the Eastern Plains, in Southern Colorado. We want to hear from communities. The very best ideas start in communities. We're looking for projects of up to $2 million that transform streets and street spaces across our downtown areas, improve safety, increase access for pedestrians and cyclists and many others. We love to see where it's good for business, good for safety, and helps reduce traffic. The deadline for the submission for this new round of $22 million is Friday, February 4th, 2022. And communities can find out more and apply by visiting www.cdot.gov/programs/revitalizing Main Streets. Our main streets are really an iconic part of who we are. They're a key job creator. They're a key part of our culture. And for too long, they've gone ignored. And that has ended with our administration's focus on Main Street grants. And we look forward to improving access, safety, and business in towns like Glenwood Springs and many others across Colorado. With that, let's get to the groundbreaking and let's get started. Thank you for joining us. And who's joining us here today? Hi. What's your name? Ingrid. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for all your work. Let's join. Grab a shovel. Get ready here. Very good. And so what we'll do is we'll count us down once they're all ready here. Are you all ready? You guys ready? Oh, we do. Oh my God. Where's Mark at? Oh, there you are. 3, 2, 1, and toss.
That wasn't very well.
Congratulations, everyone. This will be a great trail today.
I totally just compared to my book.
We're excited about this. And